Welcome to High Mileage. This is the story of my 1991 Toyota Soarer GZ20. I recently purchased the car for the second time after first buying it back in 2009. Back in the mid-2000s, New Zealand had quite relaxed import laws, and JDM cars were literally coming in by the boatload. Even still, Z20 Soarers weren't a common sight here. When my mate Budge offered to sell me the car back in high school, I just couldn't pass it up. In a time where your typical Saturday night meet was just a sea of R32s, S13s, C33s, this car really did stand out with its three-piece work wheels and the distinctive 1G GTE exhaust note. The fun was pretty short-lived, however. Not long after that, the 1G ran a big end bearing. The best way to fix a blown 1G is to replace it with a 1JZ GTE. This generation of Soarer shares the same floor pan as a JZA70 Supra, so I got on the blower to Ewan at the then Hayatonka Imports, found one in Japan, diced it up and sent it to New Zealand for me. Things didn't really get much better from there though. Once I got the engine in, we had heaps of trouble getting it to run properly, and once we did, the engine smoked like a train. Being 19 years old and a bit clueless, at the time I just opted to sell the car and actually got an offer to swap it for an R32, so I went for it. Fast forward about 12 years and I sent a message to a previous owner of the car just to see, if the car was still around. Not only was the car still around, it was basically as I sold it all those years ago. This was kind of one of those cars that got away from me, so I was keen to get some redemption on this project. After nearly 2 years back and forth, I managed to secure the car and bring it home. The goal for this project is just to rejuvenate the car a bit. It's been sitting a long time. Hopefully end up with a bit of a period correct 90s street car that can go sideways on demand. Not sure what's happened here. Not your typical sort of clear coat failure, but anyway. Overall the body's not too bad, pretty original. A few bits to tidy up here and there. Like that. Interior probably not quite as good as the outside, but yeah, I'm gonna have to tidy that mess up. There's a couple of minor pieces missing, but overall not horrific. Yeah, fair bit of work to do in here, just tidying things up. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. It's still running fairly rich, but seems to be okay once it's up to operating temperature. I'm not sure what that's about. The power steering doesn't work, the speedo doesn't work, the tachometer doesn't work. What else? There's no fan. The radiator is cooked. Yeah. The car had a pretty steady misfire, so I got to work replacing the coil pack connectors, coils and plugs. Just did a bunch of stuff off camera. Didn't film it because it just takes forever. Barely have enough time to work on it, let alone film as well. So originally the car just had a switch in the cabin for the fuel pump, and same for the fan actually. So I found these old Bosch relays. So one's a fuel pump, one's a fan control. Sort of tried to keep it looking factory, use that factory retainer there. That doesn't look that great, but I'll sort that out later. And I had a fan lying around, so we'll just use that for now. This radiator's pretty much cooked. It's not flying very well, but it'll do the job for the time being. And temperature control switch down there, so that controls the fan. Yeah, that's the future. Bought a new radiator, so let's put that in. Stole this fan connector off the old paddock bashing Camry, and just a bit of sleeving on the side, looks good. Do the other end. It's all fitted up. Everything in place now. I'll put some coolant in and we'll see if it works. That's how blocked the old radiator was. And that's what it should look like. Back to running on all 6 cylinders with those new plugs and coils. Fan just kicked in. Beauty. You might have noticed in an earlier shot I picked up some factory Mark III Supra alloys. These are pretty sweet, directional, period correct, and they'll do for now until we get some better wheels. Now I'm on to finally getting the speedo going after 10 years. Got the 3-wire speed sensor, pinned it into a little plug here, into the 3 wires on the dash loom. I'm yet to tidy the rest of this up, but yeah, see if it works. Now next up is to do something with this exhaust system. It's 2.5 inch. I remember it being newish when I bought the car the first time in like 2009, so 14 years ago, and she's seen better days now. So probably just going to put a temporary straight pipe on the end here, just because I think that muffler's fairly blocked up, and yeah, just for the meantime. Should sound a whole lot better anyway. That'll do it. Not sure if that's better or worse, but it's definitely louder. That brings us to the end of this episode. In the next video, we'll address some more mechanical issues, fit these Watanabe RS8s, and hopefully take this thing for a good solid stress test. If you are still with us, we appreciate you watching. If you're interested in more of this kind of content, hit us with a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.